Welcome back to another start to finish renovation. This time we're talking through how I transformed my parents' 1915 home from top to bottom. It had great bones, but some questionable design decisions, lots of feature walls, and a big lack of storage. Not a single room in this house had a closet. But first, let's start with the biggest structural problem, the sinking back porch, which was attached to the house and messing up the roof line. Not great. Whoever built it didn't pour any footers for the columns, so they were just slowly sinking down into the dirt. I put some temporary supports in place to remove them one by one and found that they were only stuck in the ground with a long piece of rebar. So strange. But not to worry, I fixed that by pouring new footers and replacing the columns one by one. Then I patched every single crack in the concrete slab. I tried two different methods, this filler that looked like flexible caulk and one that was more like spackle. I like the spackle one more because I could feather it out to blend in with the concrete. Then I went over it with some solid color concrete stain and it was looking good as new, or at least as good as it was going to get. I also built a custom outdoor furniture set out of solid cedar so it will last the test of time out in the elements, camouflaged the crawl space fence, and then restored the back door to let the original features shine. My parents are also getting older, so I installed these safety rails on the back steps, and then it was time for the hardest project of all, screening in the whole back porch. This was very tricky because the ground was uneven, so I had to get very creative when it came to framing, and I also wanted it to have a craftsman feel. For the screen itself, I chose a pet-proof screen that also lets the space double as a catio. Then I decorated the inside with string lights and a plate gallery wall and added some permanent holiday lights, and here's a reminder of the sinking porch before and after. This was an exhausting project, but so worth it. All right, but before we keep going, I do want to stop and thank Quince for sponsoring this video because the whole time I was working on my parents' house and getting it ready for them to move in, I was completely neglecting my own house, including this green bathroom, which is the first room project I ever worked on. And I actually still really love the way it turned out, except for one big thing, the light. I do think it's too modern for this space, and I'd love to replace it with something that fits the style of my 1914 home. So today we're switching it out and installing this beautiful pendant light from Quince. All the materials are so high quality, but it's at a fraction of the price that other brands charge for similar lights. And that's because Quince cuts out the middleman and doesn't have the same markups as other brands. All right, so here's a reminder of this Sputnik light in here before. Very modern, didn't really fit the style. And here is what the light looks like now. I think it really fits the style of the space now. And if you want to check out Quince too for high quality but well-priced goods for the home or clothing, you can use the QR code that you see here on the screen, or you can click the link in the description and that gets you free shipping and 365-day returns. Now let's get back to the action. Before I moved inside, I wanted to add one final thing to their yard, a little free library. We're a book-loving family, so it's always fun to share that with others. I designed the plans for this little library from scratch, and they're available for free on my website. It's been so fun to see all the libraries all built with my plans. Then I finally got to move inside, and my first stop was the Pepto Pink dining room with beige trim. The color scheme was just not working, but my parents wanted to keep this exposed shiplap wall. So I used it for the basis of the new color scheme, going with off-white walls, creamy trim, and a green ceiling that perfectly matches the patinated paint on the wall. I also restored the original built-in hutch for good measure. And here's a reminder of this dining room before and after. So fresh and clean. From there, we moved into my parents' bedroom, where I built my first wall at Built-Ins ever, this 12-foot tall wall of IKEA Billy bookcases and wardrobes with custom cabinets up top and a window bench seat. Can you believe that the total cost of this build was less than $2,500? Then we got to one of my favorite projects, the hallway. Small projects like these are usually my favorites because it's so much fun to go maximalist with design in a contained space. And that's exactly what I did here. I smoothed out the walls and installed lots of fancy trim, added this beautiful chinoiserie wallpaper, and covered up the popcorn ceiling with aged brass ceiling tiles. And here's the before and after. This is truly one of my favorite spaces I've ever designed. After that, I investigated this non-original arch in the living room. I knew it was hiding a larger cased opening, but I was also hoping it had pocket doors closed up inside. But sadly, the original pocket doors were missing. That didn't stop me from restoring the original shape of the cased opening and framing it out to look original again. I'm all for arches when done correctly, but this one just wasn't cute. I love the cased opening so much more. Another weird addition was this pair of French doors leading from the living room to the guest bedroom and offering no privacy. It's clear that they have been added on and recently since the trim wasn't even painted. I'm all for French doors, but only when they actually fit. So I tore this opening apart, found out where they cut into the wall to make it bigger, and closed it back up to fit a single door that I stripped and stained from an antique salvage store. This may seem a little boring compared to the before, but bedrooms need privacy, and my parents were so much happier with this setup. And then it was time to tackle the guest bedroom itself. I doubled down on built-ins and did 2 full walls this time, 1 wall of wardrobes and 1 wall of bookcases. But this time I had my sister Brittany around to help me, and I built the bookcases from scratch instead of using IKEA, which made them sturdier and a little cheaper. Just like in my parents' room, we covered the popcorn ceiling with beadboard, but in here we used this track system that made the installation much easier. Then we painted everything a gorgeous blue, made some cushions for the window seats, and here's a reminder of the before and after. So much more soothing and functional. And finally, this cute little bathroom. I wanted to take it from the glam mix of modern features and old fixtures to something more cohesive. I started by gutting the room, repairing the missing patch of tiles, and regrouting, which had a huge impact because it was so stained before. I also added a custom cabinet over the toilet for storage and integrated it into the room with lots of paneling, which also helped to cover up the textured walls. I painted it all this beautiful light blue and then added in all of the finishing touches. And here's a reminder of the before and after. I just love all the details in here. All right, and then last up, a fan favorite, we have my parents' front porch. This is the final thing we wanted to finish before they moved in so that they'd have a safe and accessible way of getting into their house. My sister Brittany designed it so that there would be a hidden ramp in the back so that our parents could age in place. But since this project required lots of time and effort and someone who could sort out the permits for us, we hired out the build, and they did a beautiful job. Honestly, I was thrilled to have a break by this point, and like I said, I had plenty of other things to work on in my own home. But I did do some of the final detail work. And here's a reminder of the unsafe concrete steps before and the front porch after. My parents love it, and it's so much more practical for their needs. And if you follow this home project, thank you for joining me on this renovation journey. I still have half of my own 1914 Craftsman home to complete, so there's lots more to come. But I'd love to know, now that you've seen their full home makeover, what's your favorite detail?